Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to make a charm based off of this squishy. I've had this for quite a while now and I will leave the link to it down in the description down below. I really do love it. It's really soft, it's really nice and slow rising. It is unlicensed, I do believe, but it was really cheap, so like I said, I'll leave that down in the description down below so you can check it out. So anyway, I rolled up some balls, just conditioned them of the polymer clay, and the first one that I started off with was the larger of the brown coloured balls of polymer clay, and I just rolled this out into sort of a little tiny fat snake, but I made sure to press on one of the sides so that it rolled out a little bit thinner on one side compared to the bottom. I also then started like pushing it with my fingers to make it into the kind of base shape of the cup, and then what I did was I took a ball of white polymer clay and just rolled that into a ball, and then I popped it down onto my desk and kind of pointed it with my fingers and my thumb again so that I was able to end up with like the whipped cream effect that was actually on the squishy. This I find is a lot easier way to get that effect rather than doing a snake and actually swirling it. But basically what I did was I then popped that on top of the cup, and then taking a pin I just made a swirl indent all the way around. So once I was completely happy with that, I then went ahead and cut a piece of polymer clay just down enough size to do the straw. Now I did actually go in and redo this again in a bit because it wasn't very secure, as you probably may be well to guess, but I did go in and change that in a bit. I next took a snake of blue polymer clay and I just rolled that out really thinly, and then using my dotting tool I just flattened it out, and then I took that strip and just wrapped it around the piece between like the whipped cream and the cup to kind of blend them together and give the blue bit that was on the original squishy. I actually just cut this down to size, and then taking a dotting tool I blended the ends together to make it one continuous loop. Taking two small balls of black polymer clay, I just popped these onto the very front of the cup to make little kind of bulgy eyes. Because the squishy's eyes are actually like, you know, raised, I figured I would pop these on with polymer clay instead of painting them on also. Next, taking a chalk pastel, I just used my scissors and scraped off some dust, and then with a paintbrush I just blushed that on all the way around the top of the whipped cream, just kind of like the pattern was on the original squishy, but it's nice and blended and quite a bit messy, to be honest. I then decided, like I said, to redo the straw part, so I actually popped in one of those like metal eye pins. They're not eye pins, but they're just, I don't know, I'm gonna call them pins. I cut it down to size and popped the polymer clay over that. I then popped in an eye pin and baked it according to instructions on the packet, which was 110 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. I then left it to cool, and then once cool and everything like that, I went in with acrylic paint and this tiny brush and just painted on all the details that were on the original squishy. So I started with the mouth in between the eyes and then moved on to the swirl that was around the top of the cup, and then I just went ahead and added highlight to the eyes. There were 2 dots on each of those, and then I just mixed up a light pink acrylic paint to add to the blush underneath each eye. I then went ahead and just let that dry for about an hour, and then once all the paint was fully dry, I took some acrylic, no it's not acrylic, UV resin, that's it, in a kind of like silicone mold, and with a paintbrush that I just used for my UV resin, I just spread that all the way over the charm, and then using my UV torch, which I got from Amazon, I just cured that in place and proceeded to kind of glaze the whole charm in the exact same way. So once the charm was completely shiny and glazed and all protected, my charm was then complete. So I'm really happy with how this turned out in relation to the actual squishy. I think it looks really similar, and comparing them at a 360 view, you can really see that the kind of like design and stuff really matches up, and I just think it looks adorable, and I think it'll be great to clip onto a bag or a pencil case or something like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's actually been a while since I've done one of these, but if you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!